So I started, let's see, how do we talk about this? So as I was wrapping up my photography, I started transitioning into the graphic design. I felt like it would be beneficial to me, even though I don't really want to be a designer, to know what the mindset of a graphic designer and a marketer was. So I picked up business administration and graphic design. I started majoring in both of those as well. So I was the triple threat. I was a triple major, and that helped me understand what the commercial world needs for my photography. So I started exploring all of that. I found that it's something as simple as a clean photograph with a headline and a little bit of body copy is enough to sell a product. And I really relied on that benchmark for a lot of my design as I went through the school, and I felt like it distinguished me from the rest of the students because I had such heavy use of photography, whereas most of the students were relying on illustration or just simple blocks of color or typography or something like that. About the time I was wrapping up both photography and graphic design, I ended up taking both a speech and religion class, and those two things were some of the best things that ever happened to me. It really pushed me to examine again the things that I tried to think about when I was age 10 through 20. How do I perceive the world? And how do I orate that in speech? How do I orate those ideals to my fellow classmates in the speech class? And then in religion, it's how are all these other people socially dealing with their own psychology, their own sociology, and their own religion, and how all those things were tied in together with me. So I started exploring a lot of Middle Asian thought, particularly Hinduism and Buddhism, and everything was the whole concept was to, especially in Buddhism, the whole concept was to separate yourself from desire so that you don't experience not necessarily positivity or negativity, but so that you can only show compassion. My trip to the Netherlands actually happened before I took the speech and my speech and religion class. And it was good that it happened in that order. So I studied abroad, went to the Netherlands, and that left me a lot of opportunity to challenge myself socially. I think I developed a lot inside myself as well as interpersonally on that trip. Not that I really needed any interpersonal development. By that time I was already talking to everybody like they were my Aunt Sue. But it was more of an exploration of how hard can I push myself? How far can I separate myself from what is socially normal and still be able to look back in on what's normal? So, I mean, looking back, I think I may have even broken a few laws with trespassing, thanks to the help of Pierre Emelot. That shouts out to him if he ever watches this. He managed to sneak me up to the top of the tallest skyscraper in the Netherlands. And the rest of the student group I went with swore up and down that I'd never be able to get up there, and came back with photos. But while I was on top of the Montevideo, which is the tallest skyscraper in the Netherlands, I was up there for just 45 minutes soaking in the entire 360-degree view of Rotterdam. And it was an interesting experience. It unlocked something in me that says, even though every restaurant owner, all the people working the front desk at the tower, all of my classmates and instructors, even though they all said that, no, you're not going to be able to get up to the top of this tower, I managed to do it because I didn't quit. I almost got to the point of cold calling people who lived in the tower and saying, hey, can you let me shoot out of your window? But I deemed that to be too crazy. Just as I was walking away, a gentleman on a motorbike rode by, and I chased down after him and told him who I was and what I wanted to do, and he shook his head and couldn't believe that nobody was helping me, and managed to get me to the top of the building after he let me visit with him in his apartment, which was a gorgeous apartment, for some time. And still talk to him on occasion. But the fact is that I didn't quit. I didn't quit until I got to the top of that building, even though people were telling me, no, it can't be done. So I started, after I realized that, yes, I can do that, it really made me sort of level up in this can-do attitude. I don't care if you tell me, no, I can't do it. I'm going to anyway. And I'm gonna do it in a way that doesn't hurt anybody. I'm not gonna be, dishonest or sneaky about it with anybody. I'm gonna find a way to do it, and when I finish it, you're going to appreciate that I did. That was my whole mindset. So I realized how broken my family was at that time. And I set out with a mission to try and fix it. So what I determined is that Western culture's family life is broken, and Western culture family intimacy is broken, for the most part. I mean, I'm not gonna say that, there aren't close families out there that are tight-knit, but thanks to things like abusive parents or divorced single mothers that have to work and can't be with their children, there is a lack of role model now among the vast majority of young adults and older children growing up. That's the question now. How do you create a medium that replaces the commercialized sexuality, the over-commercialized sexuality of America, and change that into something that is more intimate? And I think if we can find that, then that will bring back the married couple. It'll bring back a stable childhood. It will bring back into America all those things that, made America happy in the 50s that we are lacking today in our modern culture. And I'd like to see more of that. We need to have more compassion in the world, and I think that really starts with a lack of compassion in the family. So through my photography, I'd like to recapture that compassion and that intimacy and bring it back into people's lives.